Hello everybody, this is Mommy with Flowers by the Bunch. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. So today we are going to make an arrangement in a basket. This is actually a redo from last year, so I will be sure to post that video so you can kind of see how I made it before, and we're going to redo it. When you come on, tell me hello, tell me how you're doing this afternoon, tell me where you're from. We'd love to know that. So we have been oh so busy. We have been busy making patriotic arrangements in red, white, and blue for Memorial Day. Memorial Day is coming up. This next Monday is Memorial Day here in the United States. And so we had several people ask us to make some arrangements. I had Victoria is here with me. She's going to, so I have several ladies, I have 3 different ladies, I believe, asked me to do a patriotic mailbox cover. So that's what I did here. I actually did a video making this patriotic mailbox cover for YouTube, and it will go up tomorrow, so you'll be able to see how we put this together. But it's really cute. It really turned out great. I've never made a patriotic mailbox cover, but I think it turned out fine. Victoria, what were those ladies' names that asked us?
Barb Helms.
Miss Barb Helms asked for a mailbox swag, and any mailbox swag, Miss Barb, is going to basically be made just like this one, and you'll see this video tomorrow.
Betty Black.
Miss Betty Black asked for a 4th of July mailbox cover. You can also take and add some sparkle to this. You can add fireworks. If you find the little pics with fun fireworks, you can tuck those into this arrangement.
And Patricia Pollard Willis.
And Miss Patricia Pollard Willis asked for a 4th of July mailbox cover. But here's that mailbox cover, and like I said, it will be posted on our Facebook page tomorrow, so you can watch that fun video. And like I said, you can do any kind of holiday making this same type of arrangement. I've also, for the blog, I did a rag wreath. I had to go and visit with some ladies this afternoon that were out at Mississippi State University, and they were with the Homemakers of America, and so I did several wreaths for them. Well, one of the wreaths I did was this patriotic, my mouth won't work today, rag wreath. And so I am going to post this fun wreath on the blog so you can see how to make this. This is just with material, red, white, and blue pieces of material, and I just tied it onto a metal wreath. So it's a lot of fun, really cute, some fun ideas for patriotic. And so today I am going to make another arrangement for you. Same red, white, and blue. I promise we're going to switch gears so you won't see red and white and blue forever. But this is a basket that I picked up from a thrift store, and last year I think I paid $3 for it. I didn't pay very much. Last year I made it into a door hanger, and I put all red, white, and blue, a big pretty bow, all the things. My problem was it never hung really great on my door. It never would hang straight. It always wanted, if the wind blew, it wanted to kind of bend to the side. It never wanted to be pretty. So this year I decided that I would pull that all apart. Actually, Owen, you should have seen him. He was throwing flowers everywhere, pulling it apart, and I'm like, honey, I'm going to reuse those flowers. But so I pulled it all apart, and I decided this time to weight the base of it. You can't see it in the video, but it's really pretty heavy. So what I did was I lined the bottom of the container. So it's just a wicker, I guess it would be a basket that you could carry things in, like books and what have you. You could just carry them that way. I put a liner, and it was a foil, just a piece of foil down in the bottom, and I added plaster of Paris. I told you yesterday that I usually buy my plaster of Paris in like a 10-pound bag from Lowe's, and I can't remember the price exactly. It's $22, I think. Anyway, so I added plaster of Paris in some water, and I stirred it up to kind of make a paste. Then what I did was I added my foam, and these were just pieces of foam that I had left over, and I stuck them down into that plaster of Paris, so it's weighted pretty good. I went outside and I added some gravel out of the driveway, and what that does is it gives me a pretty good weight. My idea for this arrangement, it can go on a buffet, it can go on a table, or my thoughts are to put it on my porch. I thought it would be pretty sitting beside my rocking chair on the porch. So that's what my mind thinks I'm going to do with it. Now I might get it home and not like that at all, and it may go in the house. But my mind thinks I'm going to put it on the porch. So I will take a picture this afternoon when I get it home, when I have it on the porch. So I've got my moss down in here. Now, because I put a foil on the bottom, all of this can completely come out. My plaster is not completely cured, so I'm not going to pull it out right now. But once it's completely cured, this entire piece can come out of this basket, and I can do something again next year. But I will be sure to post last year's video just so you can kind of see what we did last year and see how far we've come with videos. It's changed a lot, I'm sure. I've not even watched it. But, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by adding some moss. You know, I always like to cover those mechanics, so I'm going to take this moss and cover up my foam. I was actually watching a video the other day. My professor in college, his name is Dr. Jim Del Prince. Well, he has been doing some videos lately, and he said that one of his friends, who is a floral designer, he said that what he likes to do is when you make an arrangement that's artificial with permanent botanicals, that you want to recycle at least every 3 years. So the first year, maybe you'll hang it on your front door. The next year, you'll move it and you might place it on the floor or on a table. And then the next year, you might rearrange it a little bit and place it somewhere else or change the ribbon. But you want to recycle about every 3 years. You don't want to continue to use the same thing and let it get tired and old and not so pretty. And so I thought about him. After he said that, I thought that's exactly what we're doing today. So always feel free to take apart things that you've made in the past and recycle it, make it work again. Now, all of the flowers that you're going to see me use were actually used in the original design. So I am going to, let's see, I'm going to move my little mailbox cover. And Victoria's here, so if you have any questions, be sure to ask those questions. She will read those for me. And I am happy to answer them in any way I can. So I'm going to start out with some blue hydrangeas. Now this is a new addition to this arrangement. We didn't have these blue ones last year. Now they're really dark, they're really navy, so I am going to take, this is called Cream Design Master. Actually, I'm going to use the white. This is a white Design Master paint. You can use just paint from the store. You can go to Walmart or you can go to Lowe's. You don't have to use Design Master paint. I just happen to have that on hand. So I'm just going to take my paint and I am just lightening, my words won't work, lightening up this hydrangea. So I just lightened it up just a little bit. So I'm going to start out with my wire snips. I'm going to dip my stem in this glue pan, and then I'm going to tuck that hydrangea right down into that foam.
Miss Karen Minnis says, I don't have a creative bone in my body, but I might try the round leaf.
You can do it. I promise you can do it. And I will have details step for step on the blog on Friday. And so, yes, you can do it. I promise. It's so easy. And actually, I found that patriotic material at Walmart, and it was just in a little packet of all those different materials. And so easy. I promise you can do it. All right, so I am just taking these hydrangeas, dipping them in that glue, and just tucking them right into that foam. Next I'm going to come in, I have some pretty white daisies. So these, I guess they're daisies. Maybe they're not daisies. I don't know. There's some little pretty white flowers. So I'm going to take them and I am going to cut them off the stem. Because this is no longer going on a door, it's okay to give me some height in the top. So anytime I use a basket container on a door, I always worry about how tall the arrangement's going to be, because when you put it on a hook, is it going to be too tall on the door? So I'm going to take this white and I am just going to tuck it right into this container.
Miss Loretta says, you have lovely smock tops. 86-year-old designer, love watching you design, makes me want to turn back the clock.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. It's so funny because Victoria said that right before we went on. She said, I love that blouse. Every time you go on a video, people say they like my blouses. Thank you so much. All right, so I still have a lot of that white. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of rearranging, just kind of adding white all the way through. Then I'm going to come back with some more blue and some red. So I'm just kind of, now I'm doing it a little different than I normally do. You're so used to me adding the greenery first, and I don't know why I'm doing it backwards, but I'm doing it a little backwards today. Sometimes you just feel like being a little backwards. So here we go, right?
Laura Staylor says, I was always afraid fake flowers were a little tacky. You make them look spectacular.
I am so glad I'm not the only one who has always thought that they were tacky. I thank you. No, I tell you, I am one of those kind of people that I don't mind artificial flowers on a door or artificial flowers in my home. I've never really liked them in a planter or anything like that. So like when I told you, I'm not sure if this is going to go on the front porch. Like I'm not sure if I'm going to like it sitting on the front porch, because I have fresh plants on the front porch too. But I thought we're going to see. We're going to see if we like it. And if we don't, it can certainly go on my buffet and be just as cute on my buffet. Thank you. So this is kind of more of it's more of a royal blue, a soft royal blue. And I really don't mind mixing the blues. I think it's okay to mix the blues. Now some people might not like that, and that's I completely understand. And if you don't, you do not have to mix the blues. But I really don't mind them mixed. It just kind of gives it something different, I think. Now the reason I didn't come in with my greenery first is because I really don't have lots and lots of greenery for this arrangement. And so it's just going to be an added touch. It's going to be an accent to the arrangement with the greenery. So most of these were glued in. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking and removing that glue off the ends of those stems. Just taking every stem, I'm dipping it in that glue and tucking it in. Especially when you work with artificial flowers outside, you never know how the wind is going to react. And the wind, if you just stick it in there, you never know if that wind's going to take those flowers out of that arrangement. So I like to always go ahead and glue them in. Now, when pulling it apart, it's not always easy. And so I have some pliers that are actually wire snips too, that you can grip the bottom of that stem and pull it out. You should have seen Owen trying to pull all these flowers out of this arrangement. It was a mess. He just had flowers everywhere. It was a mess.
The blues today.
You don't mind the blues? I like that it's just a little bit of a different variety. I still have a little bit of this white, so I'm going to tuck a little more white in there. Now I thought for this arrangement I would do a patriotic, why are my words not working today? A patriotic ribbon, like I did the other day when I made that wreath. And I thought I would just match because I thought I would use that wreath on my front door. What do you think? Do you think ribbon or no ribbon? Do you like it more simple without the ribbon, or do you think we should do some fun ribbon? So I am just gluing. I like the white in it too. It kind of gives it a little bit of eeriness and some white. Now I have some pretty red roses. I'm going to tuck us some red roses in because you need the red. I'm throwing them on the floor. I really enjoyed doing the red, white, and blue. I mentioned Memorial Day yesterday, and Kyle says, that's not until Monday. I'm glad he told me because I can get confused, but I knew it was next Monday. It's looking so dreary outside today. It's been threatening rain here all day long. We haven't gotten any yet, but it has threatened all day. But let me tell you, my flowers are loving some rain. It's so strange to me how much your plants really enjoy rain over the water hose. They don't love the water hose nearly as much as they like it to rain. So I have several red roses that I've thrown on the floor, so I'm going to tuck some red in here.
Most people are saying add ribbon.
Add ribbon. Okay, I do think it'll be more fun if we add ribbon.
And Miss Shanna Wells sent 200 stars.
Oh, Shannon, thank you so much. Thank you for the stars.
Miss Chanel asks, do you always use this kind of foam in your dried arrangements, or will dry oasis work just as well?
Now, there are two types of oasis. There's called a Sierra foam that's made specifically for artificial flowers. It works beautifully. And then there's wet oasis, like a wet foam, a type that you soak and it holds water. Now, you don't want to use the green kind that holds water. You want to use a Sierra foam that's made specifically for silks. Now, I do not often do very many artificial arrangements for the home. Most of my artificial arrangements, I don't want that. Most of my artificial arrangements are going to be for the cemetery or for that type of thing, or something like this. So I carry this hard foam all the time, and that's the reason I use this type. Now you can absolutely use Sierra foam for your artificial arrangements, and you can get that at the craft store, or I think you can order it on Amazon. But I use this just strictly because I have it all the time. This is a foam that I have all of the time, so that's the reason I use this type of foam.
Miss Julie Ferris says, Monty, you inspired me to make a patriotic wreath for my front door.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yay. Share a picture with us. We'd love to see it. Okay, so I had some leftover eucalyptus. Look at how pretty that eucalyptus is. This was in this same arrangement. So I'm going to take this pretty eucalyptus and tuck it in. I mean, a lot of eucalyptus, like I had lots. So I'm going to just leave it on its stem, because look how pretty that little stem of eucalyptus is. So I'm gonna take all of the glue off the bottom, and I'm gonna dip it, and I'm just gonna fill in with my eucalyptus. Now you can see that one has seen better days, so I'm just gonna take my wire snips and snip off anything that looks bad. But I am just going to just put it right back in this arrangement.
Karen Minnis says, I put red, white, and blue silk arrangements at the cemetery yesterday for my dad and granddaddy for Memorial Day.
Oh.
And I'm leaving leaving them through July 4th. I'll reuse them for Veterans Day.
That's wonderful. What a great idea.
She also says the red looks beautiful placed together.
Thank you. The red in the arrangement. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Cindy Stokes says, I stick my artificial flowers in dirt with rocks in the bottom for my front porch.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, those rocks are going to hold it in place. Now, I have lots of plants on my front porch. Like I've got a couple of types of fern, and I've got a petunia, and I've got a red mandevilla. But I just thought that this might be fun to make a pretty kind of patriotic, to kind of match my wreath. And like I said, when I get home, I might not like it. You just never know, right? I love this eucalyptus. That was a good eucalyptus.
Roger and Melissa Bryant asks, why did you only put the red on one side?
I only had 4 stems of red. I only had 4 flowers in red, and so that's the reason I felt like it would make more of an impact if I put it in kind of a line. It was just a preference. You can absolutely put your red all the way through. I just had 4 stems, so that's the reason I chose to put it on that one side. There's no real right or wrong. It was just a preference. And here comes the rain. We are going to get us a little storm this afternoon. I still have a few white blooms and a blue and a little bit of Dusty Miller, artificial Dusty Miller. So I'm just going to tuck these in.
Cindy Stokes asks, will the Mandevilla do well on a porch with full sun?
It will do much better on a porch with full sun. My porch only gets morning sun, and so I'm not certain about how well my mandevilla is going to do on my front porch. Now I have 2 on my back porch do beautifully because it's full sun on my back porch, and my back porch is full sun all day. It gets no shade. And so they have always done beautifully on my back porch. This is the first time I've ever put one on my front. So we'll have to play it by ear. We'll have to see. If he's not happy, we will move him to the back porch. I always kind of watch and see and make sure, because if he's not happy, I'll always put him on the back, because I don't want an unhappy plant. And they can be unhappy. And they will let you know that they're unhappy. And it's funny, I ordered them, we get plants in from Florida, and so when my plant man came this last time, I asked him to bring some mandevillas. I gave one to my sister and to my mom for Mother's Day, and I kept one, and it's a really big bloomed mandevilla. It's a beautiful mandevilla. Well, I decided, before I gave them to my sister and my mom, I had theirs on my front porch, and I thought, I really like that. I really like how they look. So I ordered 2 more to put in their place, and one was not happy at all on my front porch. One of the new ones wasn't happy at all. And so I moved it to the back porch. It had, the leaves started to yellow. And so I went ahead and moved it to the back porch. It seems happier on the back porch, but the other one looks okay, but the blooms are much smaller. It's interesting how it's a different variety. Now they're both in the red. I like a red mandevilla. I find a red it's just a hardier, prettier plant to me. I've had other colors. I've had whites and pinks, but I really like the red the best. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know but the others were doing beautiful. I mean, I had them for 2 or 3 weeks on the front porch, and they were fine. So it's just strange. You just never know. You just have to check them out and see how happy they are. But full sun is what a mandevilla wants. It's happiest in full sun. Okay, so there's my flowers. Okay, so there's the flowers. Now let's make a bow. Let's make a pretty bow to go on this container. Yep, it's raining. Okay, so when I made the bow for the wreath the other day, I used this royal blue gingham. I used the red, white, and blue gingham, and then I used these stars. These pretty, it's hard to see, but it's all still rolled up. I use these pretty stars. So that's what I'm going to use here. Now, originally, when I had this hanging on my door, this was the bow I had on it. And that's a lot of a bow, so I don't think I'm going to make the bow quite this large. And I would reuse this bow. The red's a little faded, I think. I would reuse it, but it doesn't match the wreath that I was planning on putting on the front door. So we'll figure out something else for this bow. And I'm going to take that pick and push it right into that foam. And you have to be careful because you can break that pick, and I'm really good at it. There we go. And now you're just going to adjust that bow until it looks like you want it to look. Now you can always take and finish off these tails by giving it a dovetail. And how you're going to do that is just fold that ribbon in half and then cut at an angle towards the end, okay? And then it's going to give you a little dovetail. And it just kind of gives it a finished look.
Miss Dolores and Miss Cindy both say it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And you know, it's so funny. I'm using the same flowers I used last year, and it's a much prettier arrangement this year. So it's so funny how you just rearranging it a little bit can change the whole look and feel of the arrangement. All right, so I've got my ribbons finished off. Now I always like to give it just a little bit of a crinkle. That's not necessary, it's just something I like to do. But you can always just leave them straight if you want to. And there we go. Now you'll go back and just make sure you pull all the glue strands off. But there you go, there's our arrangement. It really turned out pretty. So goodness gracious, have we got lots of blue, red, white, and blue arrangements. We've got them everywhere. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions or any suggestions for anything you'd like to see, we would love to hear those from you. And we will give you a shout out if you give us any suggestions. And ladies, be sure to watch tomorrow. Owen's going to post that video on YouTube of me making that mailbox cover. So if you want to see that, please be sure to watch that video. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any suggestions, let us know, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.